If y'all don't, I'm gonna teach y'all. I will teach y'all. All right, so how I get these, I send them in a group chat, but okay, this is how I mark my zones. We can go to the 4 hours so it looks better. All right, so I mark my zones based off how price reacts to everything. All right, so right here, this is a resistance, obviously. Down here, you can kind of mark this. I'm gonna mark them, but some of these I don't even touch. I just worry about what price is at now. Like, so it touched down in this area, then this was an area here. Yeah, all right, bet. And this was an area at a current time too. All right, we're just gonna make it look like that. All right, so I marked these because when price gets up here, it acts in a selling manner. It sells off pretty badly. Sells off, right? Resistance, support, you know, sells off in this area. This was actually today's trade, sells off. Down here, it buys off of here. We haven't had a second test of this, but I'm pretty sure if price was to come all the way down here, it's probably going to buy back up. Maybe, maybe not, but that's what most likely happens sometimes. Over here, we tapped this area, came up, tapped back down, bought off of it again. So this lets me know that every time we tap this area, I could be looking for a good buy. Right. All right. So with this one, every time we tap above this area, we sell off. It actually tapped us up, and then we sold back down to this line, which rejected heavily. So this lets me know there's a lot of buyers right here ready to buy this price back up. So once we came back down here again, we tapped into this area, bought up for a bit, came back down and took another buy back up. Right. Makes sense.
Like, what time frame did you start on?
You can start on any higher time frame, which is anything above, I feel like anything above 30 minutes is a higher time frame.
Where'd you start on for this example, though? I missed it.
4 hours.
4 hours. Okay, thanks.
You can mark you can mark as many as you want if you need to, but just I'm looking for where price reacted to the most. So like you can see here, price reacts to this area the most. Why? Because there's a huge wick to the downside in this area. This lets me know that price did not want to be at this area. Why? Because this was a support. You see how price came up to this area, sold off, but then broke back through it. Came up to here, price always sells at this area. Now we came back to it, rejected. Now we're back up to the upside. With that being said, once we come to here, you could either be looking for sales, or if we have a lot of momentum, we can break through it, and anything above it will be buys. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's a good way. And then even when it comes to like smaller time frames, you can still mark the same thing. Kind of just go back and see where you think price will react to. So like here, everything under this sold off. So you can kind of mark that up if you want to. You can see here we tapped into an area and then sold off from it. So this lets me know, okay, above here we can pretty much buy. Anything below it is a sell, just to keep it simple. But yeah, that's pretty much how I mark my zones, and I kind of use them. I kind of play like a little game with it. I just kind of go find all the wicks as price is going up and see if price is gonna break it or not, and then continue up.
So, bro, you basically focus more like on the highest time frame. You look at where the most wicks be at.
Not even just the most weeks, just where price, like you can just obviously see
Yeah.
where price would
Where
bounce at.
it's where it bounces and rejects from, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Like you can
bet.
just see it. Comes back down. You can see it comes all the way down here and then rejects. Goes back up a little bit. Right now we just in the middle.
Bet.
That's it. That helps a lot because it lets you know it won't have you in certain uncertainty of what price is going to do. So like when we got up here, I already knew what price possibly could do. That's why I took the sell position this morning. I knew what price may or may not do. If I was wrong, then that means that, okay, I can just close my position for a loss and take it for buys. Because anything above this means that we have a lot of bullish momentum, right? Anything below this was
Yes.
bearish. With that being said, you can also take into the fact that price did exactly what I explained. Once we got to this resistance, you could also just looked at this. You can see price tap into this area, comes low, taps up, not higher than this high, comes low. This one, if you look at it closely, you can still see that price is not higher than this high, and then comes lower. So then you could have just entered in off any of this, honestly. And then this lets you definitely know. Doesn't matter how you set your zones, as long as you know, like, price will react somewhere in that area. So honestly, you can see all these wicks here. You can mark this up. Above this, it buys off of these lines, like these wicks to the downside. What is it going to possibly do here? It may break. It may just keep continuing to the upside. Just to give you like that sense of confidence to be on the watch for that. Ping pong your plan. Yeah.
If it breaks below, do you wait for a retest or do you just hopping in?
If it's breaking these zones, it's telling me normally I just really use these in New York. Fucking Asian session and London session kind of like fuck this. But in New York, it's pretty much gonna respect some of these areas, most of these areas. So like let's say price is bearish and it's breaking through supports. You can enter however you want to enter. You can just enter when it's coming down and then just hold through the drawdown through the retest, or you can wait for the retest. But once it breaks through the support, this let me know that, okay, price is pretty bearish, right? Or else it wouldn't freaking break through the support.
Right.
And then if it just happens to come up, okay, that's just a loss, but it still has a lot of momentum to break through the support.
Right. Okay.
Same way with coming up. If price is pushing up, breaking through a resistance, this lets me know that price is pretty bullish. When I see a break, I just hop in. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Okay.
Anytime it touches one of those areas, I kind of just hop into whatever I think possibly could happen. How do I just hop in a trade? Hey, you just gotta hop in, man. You gotta be like, fuck it. Go with your first mind. Sometimes it's right. Most of the time. If you're not trading with emotions, like don't trade like, oh, I think this is gonna buy because we've been selling too long. Like make it make sense first. I think we're gonna buy right now because looking at everything else, this is the area that we were selling off when NAS was selling off, but US30 continued to go up to the upside. And NAS usually follows right behind it, along with SPX. So you can see the same structure as NAS. You can literally see the same structure. but NAS didn't break this resistance. SPX did. Make sense? You can see these rejections to the downside. So it could just break back through, or it can tap into this area and go back up to the upside. But they all kind of do the same thing. So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You can still see the same structure. Here comes down low. Here comes down low, comes back up to the upside. Impulsive candle, impulsive candle. Now here, this is where it all stopped. Price kept pushing forward. Price kept pushing forward, rejected the downside. So now we're kind of in the same area, but price is above the resistance for the other things. So price for everything else is above here. And I say that because back in the past, it did the same thing. Back in the past, NAS broke this resistance. I meant this support back in the past. Watch this. Same support right here for US 30. Same support. Price didn't break this support like it did on NAS. It went up to the upside. Same area. Screwed it out so you can see. Same area. Price broke this support and then eventually came back up a couple days later. Same thing. So that's why I think that. I'm dead. But yeah, that's basically it.